Hi friends, welcome to my not so humble castle. Today we're surrounded by about 3 pounds of kitten poop because I picked up 3 kittens yesterday to foster, and not only all of them have diarrhea and they have to be on all kinds of meds because they're stray, they are also, as it turns out, as my bed, my floor, and my bathroom floor proved, they are not litter trained. So right now, in this rare minute of quiet, when all of these little, as I officially call them now, little shitheads, I mean, they are the cutest things ever. Yes, they will be when they're litter trained. Right now, shitheads. So while all of them are asleep and my resident pets said leave me alone for just a minute, I can put on clean clothes, I can put on mascara, and we can smell something a little bit more, maybe not less aromatic, but a little bit more pleasing to the human nose than what I've been exposed to in the last 24 hours. So today we're going to do a blind testing. For those of you who are not familiar with the laws, and for those of you who are purists, let's settle on definitions. So there are like 1,000 ways to conduct a blind test. Highly recommend, if you're getting into perfumes, you're already into perfumes, if you're phasing out of perfumes, blind testing your own collection, blind testing all kinds of things that you have in decants or things that you wanted to try. You will be mesmerized how poorly you remember what you have, what you love, and how flippant sometimes our affections can be. So to make it fun, usually people kind of force a decision boundary. So people try to guess a brand, kind of main motifs, like is it like floral, is it magnolia, is it oud, is it this, is it amber centric perfume. And in the classic sense, you're not supposed to really compare it with anything you know, you just have to describe it and then guess, make your guess. And then I have the clues here that I can open one by one. But I had enough. I had to clean so much poo that I'm gonna cheat. I am going to cheat. I brought a few perfumes that I think sound or could sound somewhat similar to what I just sniffed. So again, I cheated once by spraying all of them already and just trying to give it a go. I'm gonna cheat twice by also bringing in perfumes from my collection, then by just general description of what I felt should be similar. And I think that will just make it more fun. You'll hear more. I'll probably be like super off in my descriptions, but I think that will make it fun. You'll get some useful recommendations from things that I already have in my collection and things that I like. Is this better? Do I have something that I would prefer to wear to compare to what I have for blind testing here? And if you want to participate, there is an address down below. You can send me your own version of blind testing. Usually I ask that anybody who wants to challenge my nose or share part of their collection in this manner, wrap the clues one by one so I can open them one by one. And usually it works best when it's between 7 to 10 perfumes. If it's more, it's just overwhelming for the nose. All right, ready, steady, go. I feel like half of this video are disclaimers. A disclaimer, if you hear a delightful lisp in my pronunciation, it's me wearing eyeliners. I still can't get used to them. It's been months and I struggle. Anyway, number 1. Okay, now it's open enough that I can hear the heart, but as I said, I'm cheating in 2 dimensions. I'm gonna spray it twice and refresh my memory. Okay, number 1. To me, it's like a very forgettable, run-of-the-mill designer perfume, potentially even budget, something like older designer perfumery, something that you can find like for 30-50 bucks online. It's kind of ambivalent, semi-sweet, fruity, rosy perfume. It's not juicy, it's not zesty, it's like right there in between. It's kind of like run-of-the-mill, well-rounded, fruity rose. There's no sourness, there's no sugariness, there's nothing there to grab on. And I feel like there are like 1,000 of them out there. Not my cup of tea, but this is something you can put on without thinking. I think Stella McCartney pink pop or neon pink, like with a pink lid that you just push on. I had that, and I think I sprayed it just like to refresh the room smell. This gives me the same vibes. So my guess, kind of 2000 to 2010, fairly budget-friendly designer perfume, obviously targeted, marketed toward women. Not much else to say. If I really, really wanted to be generous, I would maybe say that Byredo Bal d'Afrique, but I think Byredo Bal d'Afrique has a little bit more of this like tropical fruity interest around it than this. Yep, so far that's all I have. Did I bring anything remotely similar from my collection? Let me see. Not really, because I usually just like this kind of stuff will never be purposefully added to my collection. This might just end up there because I found like a full-size bottle for $10 in TJ Maxx, and I thought, oh well, that's cute enough, and I haven't tried it before. I usually never buy this stuff twice. All right. It would be funny if it's some kind of like super duper rare French contemporary niche, but we'll see. All right, so you ready? I'm not. Okay. I mean, not too bad. It is Chapar Happy Bigaradia. So here we have, it's 2018. Okay, it's a little younger than what I anticipated, but it kind of almost looks similar. Chapar Happy Bigaradia looks a little bit like Stella McCartney neon pink. So we have here all kinds of white florals, mandarin, base labdanum, patchouli. I don't really feel that. Yeah, it's sweet, citrusy, white florals. Okay, what I guessed was this kind of well-rounded fruitiness. This is well-rounded white florals where there is nothing identifiable there. So it's neither jasmine-centric, nor lily, nor magnolia. It's just this average, sweet, sunny, white floral. As far as I know, Happy Bigaradia by Chapar is their kind of like budget, youthful, so to speak, line. And I think it's fairly affordable. If it isn't, I don't see a point. Things like that can be found in, like, as I said, 1,000 brands, but like first and foremost, almost anywhere you'll find something like that in Jo Malone. That's where they started. These kind of watercolor florals, inoffensive, not memorable. All right, number 2. Okay, this has a lot of dusty wood to me. The number 2 reminds me that I brought some comparison for, but like let's center a bit first. So to me, this is kind of amber wood. It has a lot of like kind of alcoholic notes to it. Whiskey or not, I don't know. But also some kind of a little annoying sweetness. It's that kind of amber that I don't like. I think it's amber there somewhere. So very dusty, woody, woody. I mean, who knows, there could be wood here as well, but I don't really detect that. I would say like pine resin and incense. It smells very familiar. I feel like I either have something almost like this or maybe I have something like this. So I brought two that by my memory, I haven't sprayed them yet. By my memory, it's what I associate with like the quintessential, even kind of classic woody perfumes. One is Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Wood, and we are going to compare. I told you I'll cheat twice. I'm not above it. Here we go. And that, let's see if I guessed it. Lighter, much more soft and cashmere-like, and much quieter. But I like this way more. Okay, so we need something more pronounced and more alcoholic and more incensey. Maybe this one. By description, again, what I remember, Megalium by Carner Barcelona, I think should be just that. Again, more well-rounded, less punchy, and has, I'm surprised, that's how I remembered Megalium, and yet number 2 gets it beat. This is very potent. This is the kind of stuff that you can find in Italian niche perfume brands. Xerjoff, boy. That could be even the incense line by Comme des Garçons, but I don't know it very well. This can be all kinds of brands who, it's kind of one of those sweet, woody, incensey fragrances. I'm surprised. I thought Megalium had more punch to it, but Megalium almost smells soft, again, more cashmere-like and floral compared to this. Damn. Yeah, neither of my woody perfumes has nearly as much punch. Maybe it is oud, maybe it is incense. Something makes this smell very dusty and punchy, in addition to amber and woody. Some French niche perfumes do things like that. It's very rich, it's very bright, it's a little, I wouldn't say annoying, but like it has a lot of consistent presence. But I presume this will last forever. Again, reminds me of Italian niche. I would be damned, I would be surprised if this is designer perfume. I would be very surprised. I think this is like that kind of colorful, vibrant, marketed niche. I think it's more, if it's niche, it's like unisex, but stuff like that usually marketed more toward women, but men can easily wear that as well. All right, you ready? Okay, all right. It's even more niche than I knew. This is what's called craft or artisan fragrances. This is Imaginary Authors, Cape Heartache. Let's see. Douglas fir, pine resin, western hemlock, I have no idea what that, vanilla leaf. Okay, I thought it was amber, but it's vanilla. Actually, amber accord is a version of vanilla accord. Strawberry, what? Now I get it. somewhere there, but very hidden. Wow. That's what I love about marketing, to be honest, because they say it and you'll feel it, even if before you couldn't detect it whatsoever. I call it the magical power of marketing. In perfume industry, this is like king. On one hand side, everybody smells something different when they, choose perfumery in the same proverbial Chanel chance can, people describe it in very different ways sometimes. But once you read the marketing description, often you start smelling things you could not detect or kind of associate with it before. I can't believe that I'm smelling strawberry now, in addition to all that I already described. Old growth, it's like old forest, something like that. Mountain fog, what? I don't know how exactly mountain fog comes into the play, but... So this is like to go off-grid and have a bonfire on the beach, I presume. And when people get attracted to you when you're sitting night after night around the bonfire, I presume cooking something yummy on the fire. I will say that often Italian niche gives me that kind of craft, almost like essential oils blended together kind of feel. A lot of it has risen above that kind of handmade status. But I can see the origins here. This is way better than a lot of other craft perfumery that I've tried. As I said, I'm not the biggest fan. I find that it's somewhat primitive in the way that, and very recognizably predictable, kind of almost simple. But this is good. And the fact that I smell everything that I said before and everything that's described here, including strawberry, that just blew my mind. Strawberry. Wow. Call me impressed. I actually like it more because the whiff of those strawberry comes and goes. I didn't like it nearly as much as I like it now. Oh, yeah, call me impressed. Imaginary Authors, Cape Heartache. Okay, all right. This is exciting. I'm getting excited, I kid you not. All right, number 3. All right, let's refresh that. Yeah, same. This, to me, first is the smell of bleach, like scented bleach, and then is the scent of laundry sheets. So what smells like laundry sheets? Or more likely, what kind of fragrant molecules do they put into the laundry sheets? I guess white musks. Potentially some kind of like lilacs are often there. It's like, it's either super cheap or it's some kind of like Byredo Blanche or one of those like super duper expensive niche perfumes that nevertheless have very wide appeal. Like Ex Nihilo is like that, Byredo is like that. I mean, I cannot imagine Kilian making anything like this. But that's what it is. It does, the only thing that I found by description that could potentially be even like remotely close is Lancôme Miracle, because it does contain an old generation of white musks. The musks that were first to be found in laundry detergents. But oh my god, this is so much more peony and lychee and kind of somewhat bitter rose and those kind of laundry sheets. Now this is very different. This is like 1,000 times better. Yeah, it's I think this profile, this kind of clean, according to 2013 plus year of issue, that stuff is like not my cup of tea. But I imagine that's where it could go. To me, it's just soapy, boring laundry sheets kind of smell. All right, this is all I can say. I think this is one of those. I don't know a single actually designer scent that would make something just like that. So I have to say, I'm betting on niche, something like Byredo Blanche, which I actually haven't really smelled in a long time. Okay, number 3. It would be hilarious if it's something entirely different. Ha! Well, I guess kind of like the main theme. It's Il Profumo Musk Blue. So this is niche, and this is, the name is Blue Musk. So musks, the white musks in general, are kind of what we associate with laundry. Fresh laundry. So this is neroli. Yeah, neroli is often also is a kind of one of those fragrant accords that put in laundry detergents. Ylang-ylang, santal. So the sweetness here is supposed to be santal. No, I don't really. I find santal is usually more milky and a little bit more sophisticated. It's 2004. Il Profumo Musk Blue. The name suits it, like Blue Musk. I would agree. Though for something blue, I would probably anticipate a fresher, maybe aquatic or maybe mineral accord. But this works. To me, it's just super boring. But this is Italian niche. Okay. All right. Moving on. Where are we? 4. Number 4. Okay. Here I got confused. It opens with something that reminds me some kind of medicinal herbs. And yet it's sweet when it starts opening up. So it's almost like chamomile tea. But we know the most famous chamomile right now in the market, that is Gucci. Oh, can't even remember the name. The Memory of One Day. Mémoire en odeur, something like that. But Gucci one is a green bottle. I actually do have it in my collection. I didn't bring it. You live and you learn. It's way more, I would say, patchouli and sour and mineral. This is kind of like, I would say, like it's a chamomile tea. It's well-rounded. Sweetness here is also very delicate. I don't know, I am not a big fan of these kind of it's like dried flowers. When it comes to elegant, delicate flowers, I do personally prefer things that are more spring florals, like Astara by Penhaligon's, which is devoted to daffodils. I like mimosa stuff, or my most favorite. Is that even? Yeah, you can say that. The absolute ultimate floral for me. That is subtle, delicate, and it's very hard to describe, but it's Calèche Délicate by Hermès. In my view, it has little to do with original Calèche, and unless you tried it before, I can't help you. It's hard to describe. It's very elegant, subtle, nuanced, and I just love it. It's my comfort zone. For some reason, reminds me of childhood, and I don't know why. So, not my cup of tea, number 4. I would even say it has a little bit of this fougere mixed with cologne, because this herbal thing about it, like dried flowers. You know what else could be like that? Zizzonia by Benhaligans, which I do have. I also have this super cheap Histoire d'Amour, which is a vanity table pleaser. Look how beautiful it is. And it costs like peanuts. $15. Online you can find it for 10. So these kind of like refreshing, not too sweet, not too sour, green florals. Like I would prefer something like this over it, but they are, I wouldn't say that they are that similar. It's just like my preference. Let me compare with number 4. This is sweeter and a little bit more rosy. Oh, rosy. See, like cheating is so useful. You start, in comparison, you start noticing motifs. You know what this could be like? It could be like if Saint Laurent L. That rose is very romantic and simple. It's not super sweet. It's not super oily. It doesn't smell of Bulgarian rose. Okay, what about Zizzonia? Since I said it. Okay, Zizzonia. Okay, Zizzonia is way more dried herbs and kind of like sliding toward fougere. Yeah, this is sharper, fresher. This is a little bit more rounded and more rosy. Okay, I can't really tell, but I think again by the way that it's like watercolory, it's not offensive, but to me a little bit forgettable. It's kind of something you throw in and you don't think about it twice. I think it's definitely marketed toward women unless it's niche. Yeah, Jo Malone could have something like that. Ex Nihilo. But I would say this is just designer, just something pleasant. Maybe even older designer fragrance. Okay, let's see. Number 4. Who is this? Oh! This is Lubin. Oh, Lubin. Black Jade. Roses here. Ladon. Oh, sorry. Incense. Jasmine. Patchouli. Cardamom. Amber. Sandal. You know, nothing. Oh, galbanum. That often smells like dried herbs. This is a secret garden of Marie Antoinette, the Queen. I don't understand how is that relevant to Marie Antoinette, though maybe back in that day, that's all they could really smell like. It's not offensive, it's delicate, but I think Lupin, it's not that cheap. 2011. It's very, like, to me it kind of smells dated actually. I was about to say it's like early 2000s in my view. It's alright. It's not something that I would think twice about. Okay, Lupin Black Jade. I don't really feel cardamom here. Don't feel bergamot. I just feel this well-rounded, jasmine-y, rosy, vanilla, tonka beans, amber, sandal. You know, like it's just so. I don't see a point of even calling them out, because it's kind of non-consequential. They are like all very well blended here. That's why I thought it was a designer perfume. There's not much depth or complexity to it, but it's pleasant. I'll give it that. Okay. Let's continue. Number 5. Boy, that is bizarre. I get immediately confronted by the BO, the body odor, plus something fresh, either citrusy or like white lilies, something like bright florals or citruses, sometimes white musks. can be very like sour and bright like this. Maybe it's magnolia, lotus, some kind of these like watery, bright, fresh florals. But what is the BO stuff? And why is it immediate? Okay, if not for the BO component, I would say this is just one of those Kenzo fragrances, or Issey Miyake, or again, Jo Malone, like all of that kind of water lily stuff. But the juxtaposition of strange, kind of smothering, enveloping, I guess, sweetness that to me smells a little bit like BO, and the freshness right piercing through it, that's an interesting contrast. So then I want to say it's something like Ex Nihilo. I would imagine they would have something like that. Like most of their stuff that is not the bestsellers, like Floral Narcotique or Lust in Paradise, most of their other fragrances are very nuanced and watercolory. They're not bright, they're not that in your face. So that's why I'm thinking about it. But it also could be something super cheap. Just the same. I have quite a few, but I do prefer zestier and kind of like fresher stuff, like Rose Privée by L'Artisan Parfumeur. Like, I prefer things that have a little bit more of a character. So this, like, rose and basilic, and something that's just pleasant, fruity, white florals, but like without too much sweetness. Laboratorio Olfativo Milo, love it. Already kind of used up. Just brought it from Italy and already used up 1/3 of it. Yeah, I kind of prefer things like that. Maybe like a combination of watery or soapy flowers like magnolia, as I said, water lily, lotus, with something fruity. Again, these would be my choices. It's definitely not the same, but to me it's kind of, I don't know, it's curious, but not that curious. All right, I am hedging my bets. Did you notice? I guess that it's both niche and something affordable. Let's see. Well, this one I said Jo Malone. Let's count every time when I'm not impressed and I say it's Jo Malone. It is Jo Malone. This is Jo Malone, Peony and Blush Suede. Red Apple. Oh, okay, so that was not lily, that was not citrus, that was apple. This kind of sourness. Peony, maybe. And suede? To me, it smells like BO still. Yeah, fruity, fresh, musky. I agree with all of the above. No, not really. Not really. Number 6. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. What? Bright. In your face. Very poppy, like very color blocking. It's bright, sour, and sugary sweet. It's like those, oh my god. It's like those chewy, no, not even chewy ones. You know the sour explosion candy that you put in your mouth and then you just like bombard it with the contrast of some artificial flavoring, sugar, and sourness. That's what it smells like. So a lot of fragrances of that nature usually list berries in their marketing description. So it could be all kinds of sour berries. It's simple, it's very bright, it's cheerful, it's joyful, it's yummy in a way, in this very synthetic way. Stuff like that is brilliantly done by a number of brands, and the first one that comes to mind to me is Moschino. they are unapologetically synthetic. So the one that doesn't smell like this, but is of the same kind, is I Love Love. This is my 4th bottle. And I just love it when I just want to feel joyous and almost like girlish. Because this one smells like orange soda, almost to the T. And that's what this kind of like unassuming, bright, cheerful simplicity. It's kind of like a pop culture type of perfume. This gives me the same vibe, just a little bit more rich and a little bit more complex. So I would guess this could be again, Italy makes a lot of fragrances like that, because like the beauty of life, the joy, it's like the Italian sun in a bottle, but it's very youthful. And again, I think Moschino is it Spanish or Italian brand? I don't know, I need to double check that. But that's what kind of like what comes to mind. Who else makes stuff like that? Comme des Gargons, but I think they're usually a little bit more, they're a little less cheerful on average. In the designer spectrum, Escara, that could be Escara, that could be Nina Ricci. I think they sometimes make the very sugar, sour, cheerful thing, like concoctions together. They throw in together ingredients like that very well. So it could be Nina Ricci, it could be Escara as well. Yeah, I would put that this is a designer perfume, and I would say it's probably even affordable. If I had to pinpoint it somewhere, sure, niche can do anything. It might be a surprise there, but if I had to put it down on something and kind of like price point, I would say it's kind of like one of those Moschinos, Nina Ricci's, Escaras. Ralph Lauren Romance. Really? I haven't tried Romance in years, but I remember it was something a little bit more bland and less, and in a way more elegant. So Shipper Floral. Well, the sourness, but it's very synthetic sourness. So if it's patchouli, it's one of those, like, it's the patchouli as it was presented to us ever since Coco Mademoiselle and other kind of like sweet, sour, fruity concoctions. So it's, but you know what, like, it is dated. Things that I called out were all created mid-2000s, like in the first decade of 21st century. And I'm not that wrong. Look at that, look at that. This is blackcurrant berries, but they say flowers of them. Rose, musk, patchouli, ylang ylang, that's the kind of candy sweetness. Jasmine, don't feel it much. Rose pepper and lilac. No, I don't feel lilac there. But I would call that almost a win. And you know what? I recently, wait, what? Romance Perfume 2021? I thought it's an older one. Didn't Ralph Lauren have something like... Am I crazy? I am probably crazy. I'm probably mixing it with something else. I thought Ralph Lauren had Romance years ago. But it says 2021. Well, good for them, because you know what? If I can find that cheap, I might get it. Because again, like, it gives me these kind of like cheerful vibes. You put like some neon hoodie on, your favorite color blocking sneakers, you kind of like ripped jeans, and you just go skating. I'm not going to do that, but I'm saying the mood. The mood there, because I'm literally like one step away from artificial hip, all right? Like, I gotta watch it, but it's just so cheerful. I do not understand why they call it romance. I would completely redesign the marketing campaign. I would put graffiti all over this. I would use color blocking. I would use neon because it's bright. It's in your face. It's like a perfect fragrance to accompany the brand of Benetton. It's kind of fun. I like it. I mean, it's not my usual cup of tea, but in the moments like this is fun, especially if you can find it for a good price. Okay, Ralph Lauren Romance, definitely a surprise and a hit. The last one is number 7. Soft, creamy, lotiony. I wanted to say Nivea hand cream, but that one is one more powder and has a lot of chamomile. But this is like, it's like cream, whipped cream, plus something sweet. It could be rose, it could be lilac. Something that I have sort of along the lines, rice powder can smell like that. And my example of that would be Simply Jill Sander, and this is a flanker that is called Eau de Parfum Poudré. This could be any of the Quinzot flowers. I don't remember Quinzot Amour, but like all of the Quinzot flowers and most of their flankers give you this rice powder kind of soft sweetness. They are not the same. This is even softer, even I would say this is like whipped cream and lilac. Very, very cuddly, sits close to the skin. Not much depth to it. You can throw all kinds of like teeny tiny nuances at it. Potentially tonka beans, maybe like a little bit of almond there. Yes, almond. Sweet, very creamy. So that could be, oh, there are so many of those. There is, oh, I'm forgetting, I'm blanking. There are many things like that. So what gives us kind of sweet, soft, creamy, milky almond? Now it smells more and more familiar, like as if I had it or have it. Well, Tarte is Carnet Barcelona, but I think that is a little bit more like a puff of a sugar powder and florals with sweet almond. This is more souffle. Oh, it's so familiar. Okay, that could be anything. So many brands have sweet almonds, and at this point, whipped cream is everywhere. It could be anything, but it oddly reminds me of, I had something very similar. I think L'Artisan Parfumeur has something like that, but it's more baking flour. It's torture. I got it. It took a trip down the memory lane. It reminds me a lot of the different company Pure Eve. It was the same kind of quiet, warm, almondy whipped cream present, like souffle. Okay, all right. I like this. To me, though, I prefer Tardis by Carnet Barcelona. Lush American Dream. I do not know Lush perfumery whatsoever. On first blush, you'll detect notes of warm vanilla mixed with the sweetness of fresh berries. No. Then comes the refreshing herbal aroma of sage and lavender. Okay, no. To me, this is milky. And actually, okay, so on Fragrantica, It's milk, vanilla, white honey, strawberry, and orange. I would rather believe this, but I'm surprised nobody is speaking of almond. I don't know, I would like dare say this is like a very close clone of Pure Eve by the different company. It's delicate, but I would say it's a little, it's lacking. It's lacking that little something special. In my view, Tardis by Carnet Barcelona has all of that and more. Just me. All right, how did I do? What do you think? If you have any suggestions along the lines of types of perfumes that we've described here in this blind test, please let me know. Always looking for something new and exciting to try. If you want to challenge me with your perfume picks or want to share kind of your perfume tastes via sending me a package with a blind testing your perfume collection, you're so welcome to do so. Can't wait to do more of these. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.